like, oh, I hope it doesn't show any like video, like, you know, just the clip, the little clip. I hope it doesn't show any like clips that look suggestive that I'm a shitbag. But
yeah, my YouTube is like tiny home videos and music videos and game videos. And
I remember at one point in time, mine was only music videos. Like if you went to my YouTube, it was just suggesting like a bunch of like emo shit. That's all it was. And mine now it's like
video essays.
I'm curious. Like today, I'm assuming that mine's pretty like full gear heavy because tonight's full gear. In case anyone wanted to know,
full gear.
Let's go, baby!
That's a perfect. Hey, hold on, real quick. I got a quick idea.
It's the sports program on TSPN with Derek, Zach, and Sean, who's been here the whole time. Head over to timespentpoorly.com and give the show a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and help move this show into more people's suggested lists. This show is also streamed live on many platforms, including YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Follow and subscribe so you don't miss out on an opportunity to chat in and give the guys a piece of your mind during the broadcast. Want to support the show? Great! Go to patreon.com/timespentpoorly to see how you can do that. And now it's my pleasure to bring you the hosts of the sports program on TSPN, Derek, Zach, and Sean.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. That was fun. That was a 7-minute intro of us talking about our internet, and we were talking about Marvel before that, though. That was great. So 10 Rings apparently is available to watch, so I think that's what I'll be up to this weekend. Maybe.
Yeah, Disney Plus Day I think was a success because I got it back. It worked on me. And most things work on me though. Dexter came back last week, so I got Showtime back.
Did it come back last week?
It was New Blood is a hit, baby.
Did you first for New Blood? Do you need to have finished?
No. So, well,
because I got to season 5 and I quit going into season 6. Like,
you will need to finish. Can I spoil something real quick?
Yeah.
Well, you'll need to finish because his sister dies in the final episode.
I did know that.
Okay, so she is his dark passenger now. So she talks to him.
So she's in the show.
It's awesome, man. So it's written by the guy who made the first 4 seasons. Okay. So he quit after that, and I was reading into how he wanted the show to end because I was super curious how he thought the show should end. I was like, yes, because like potentially if that's how he wanted the show to end, maybe he'll end it that way this time. Although there's too much money to be made in Dexter, so it's even like that. This is a mini series. They won't establish that it's a 1-season mini series yet. So I'm like, just say it's a new show. Like, just admit it, because like it's also not called Dexter. It's called Dexter New Blood. It's its own title. It's filmed a little bit different. Everything about the show kind of has its own feel.
What about the theme song? Is the theme song the same?
There just isn't one.
Cool.
It's just like all these like really fast clips, and then it's like Dexter New Blood.
Wow.
But I feel like with that animation, you guys got exactly what I meant by doing that animation.
I saw
though.
Jennifer Carpenter in the preview, and I saw her talking to him, so I was like, okay, so she's like his dad. Like,
yeah, she's his dark. She's the dark passenger.
If it was a one-time thing, or if it seemed like it was going to be pretty regular of her being around.
So I think it was constant through the first episode. I don't want to spoil anything there because
it's a great actress, though. Jennifer Carpenter, I love her.
Yeah, she was the reason I got into the show. I liked her and Quinn's relationship, and my only problem, I can't believe I actually remembered his name because I haven't watched the show since it finished. Like, I watched it like the night it aired, and then I cried because it was so bad. I didn't cry because it was good. I cried because it was so bad, and I was like, I wasted the last 3 years of my life. 100%. This, like, at the time, I think it was this 8 years ago? Was it more than 8 years ago? I was 24. I was 24, so it was probably 8 years ago. That was wrapping up. Sons of Anarchy was wrapping up. Game of Thrones was just getting started. It was like season 2 or 3. So that's like the shows I was watching. Sons of Anarchy was dog shit, but I loved it at the time. Dexter was really bad, but I watched every episode the night it came out. And then Game of Thrones usually saved it all.
I was devout with Dexter until end of season 5, and then I was like, okay, I bow out. You know, I'm good.
4 is where his spoiler alert. 4 is where his wife dies, right? End of 4.
Yep.
And that's like the
big. 5 has Colin Hanks in it.
And then 6 has what's her name from O.
Julia Stiles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did watch the Julia Stiles season.
It was pretty good. I actually thought it was okay.
Everything. The final 2 is what.
So the final 2 are where he dates the other serial killer.
And I knew that because she's on Chuck.
Yeah, and I was into that a lot. I was like, okay.
Has she made an appearance in the first episode or?
No,
because Harrison's in it. I know that.
So that's the big deal, right? Like Harrison clearly leaves wherever she's at or something happened. There's no dirt on what happened with her at all. No dirt, no tea. I wish they would find a way to pipe that character in, but he's got other
teenager.
He's a teenager, which really makes sense that 10 years is transpired. Like, it really hit me that it's been that long since the show was on.
And he's also bathed in the blood of his own mother, like his dad, basically. Like, you know, like basically he had his own baptism by blood, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no
baptisms. That's the kind of baptism I'm here for.
There's no tea on what he's into either. They're like, is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy? I think that Dexter thinks he's sweet. Like, Dexter thinks he's pure. So I think he's going to be wrong. That's my theory, is that Harrison's going to be a little fucker.
I gotta watch it.
Dude, it's good. I was pleasantly surprised by the first episode, but like I said, yeah, it's the guy who made the first 4. I think he wants to end it his way this time. But, like, once again, it's called Dexter New Blood. I think they're going to keep doing these miniseries. It's going to be Dexter New Title, Dexter New Title for like 2 or 3 years. They're going to milk it, and then they'll kill him. I noticed, so the series ends with him in Oregon. Like, he's in a new place. The new series starts, he's in, like, upstate New York. They've moved his, like, location, like, same, like, idea. He's in a snowy place. He's burly now. Like, they just changed it. I think they intentionally moved him to another state. I think they'll end up with putting him in a state that has the death penalty, because the original guy who made the first 4 seasons ends it with him getting the death penalty in Florida. So, like, he wants him to be in a place where that's applicable. So
makes sense.
So that's.
And I'm just 10 years for the timeline. In 10 years, he could have moved to Oregon and then back to upstate New York. I mean, really?
Oh, I don't think that like they just like changed it and they were hoping we didn't notice. I think they're just assuming that we are like, oh, maybe he tried some stuff out. Maybe Dexter tried out a few creepy, secluded locations.
Maybe.
And that's his choice.
Can't wait to watch it.
I don't think he liked the liberals.
Yeah, that's what it was. He just didn't. Yeah. Portland was too weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, they're all serial killers." That's my thing.
That's my thing. Goddamn! Don't take this from me.
Yeah, I would never. Anyway, I would never have any fun here.
Program. We are a sports show, and we talk about sports-related things, and Dexter, and sometimes Dragon Ball Z.
Don't get me started on any of that stuff.
About Dragon Ball Z in a while.
We have not.
I'm thinking about restarting it from the very beginning. You would never hear from me again.
Ball.
I won't watch Dragon Ball. No. I actually didn't necessarily care for
Dragon Ball. Quick, if you do Dragon Ball Z, if you start over, do Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll literally save 75% of your life.
You'll save 75 hours, I think, too.
Yeah. Realistically,
it's so long the other way, and it's not the best. Dragon Ball Z Kai actually makes it really good.
Dragon Ball sucked.
Dragon Ball is not great. It's not.
I'm okay to admit that. Yeah, I don't think it was that great.
It's cute. He's cute as a little guy, but it sucked.
And Dragon Ball GT sucks, but it's not good.
Oh, I can't even watch GT.
It's unwatchable. It's
Super's great.
Yeah, Super's
great.
Superheroes has been fine. It was. I mean, I started watching it. I was like, I don't really care about this.
I started watching it, and I kind of forced myself to. I was like, I don't really care about this either, but I'm going to watch a lot of it.
Character's name again?
God, I cannot remember, but I love him.
So he becomes just like Vegeta. You know, he becomes every person they fight other than Frieza becomes their friend.
And Cell.
Frieza and Cell. Yeah. But
that's why Cell and Frieza are the two bad guys.
Even the little chubby Boo is their friend now.
Majin Buu is probably the best character. I love him.
And then the cat character in Dragon Ball Super Hero is their friend.
Yeah, after I don't know how many episodes it is, but he is their friend, but he's also like Dexter. He's he'll murder you just because it's for funsies.
Yeah. Also, he's like Vegeta too, in that he's not like a friend. I don't know. Like Vegeta's his friend, I guess, but like also Vegeta hates him. Kakarot.
I take it back everything I said. Vegeta's still the best character.
Vegeta's my favorite character of all time.
Dude, fuck that. Krillin.
I do love Krillin too.
Krillin's the worst character. He's a fucking dweeb.
Majin Tien is the worst.
Tien?
Both those guys suck. Tien and the other guy, the other human, they're garbage.
Yeah, Tien does.
Tien with the third eye?
Yeah.
So I didn't mind him actually. I like him still more than I like Krillin. I think I actually like every character more than I like.
To be honest, my favorite character is Gohan until he becomes the superhero. But Gohan was my favorite character.
Adult Gohan is Krillin bad. Like he's dog shit.
Young Gohan is great. Like when he defeats Cell and like the whole Cell saga, Gohan's my favorite character.
They set him up to be the GOAT, man. They set him up to be the predecessor. Like he is the LeBron James. He's the LeBron James to his dad's Michael Jordan, and then he becomes. I don't know who he becomes. I don't know who to compare him to. He becomes more like J.R. Smith.
Really good at golf. Pursuing his
college
golf.
Exactly. He becomes a college golf player in his late 30s.
I still love
Oh, I like that.
I still like the J.R. Smith golf saga.
Yeah.
That's a great saga. There's Cell saga, there's Cell saga, there's Frieza saga, there's J.R. Smith golf saga.
Do you think
everyone knows that?
Do you think he's gonna drive in the wrong direction of the hole at least once though?
No, he probably takes it more seriously than basketball.
No, but I would like him to do one where he's putting one in, and before it goes in, he thinks it's going in, so he turns and looks at the camera and holds up the threes. And then it doesn't go in. It like spirals out of the hole. I know he's not the one who did that. Who are the two people who actually did that?
I don't know.
No, one was a Laker. What was his name? He was a total dweebo. But he shoots the three.
Was he white or black? Let's narrow it down. Okay.
I'm trying to remember the guy. He shoots the three, and he turns and looks at the camera. There's a couple guys who do it, because there's the other famous one where guy shoots the three, turns around and shimmies at the camera, and then he realizes it doesn't go in. I'm trying to remember all these people.
Matt Barnes?
No, it wasn't Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes wouldn't do that to himself. I don't know, man. Just literally, I think all you'd have to Google is guy thinks he makes the three, guy misses three. That's how I would Google it.
I'm Googling it. Okay.
Nick Young. It's because I was trying to remember Swaggy P.
Oh, Nick Young. Swaggy P.
I was trying to remember Swaggy P, not Nick Young. I knew his last name was Young the whole time, but I was trying to get to Swaggy P.
Man, he was supposed to be something, wasn't he?
It's a 17-second clip. If you got a second to watch it, I would say watch it.
I think we're getting in the right direction about sports, though. We're getting.
I'm slowly reeling us in. I had this planned all along. You see how I easily transitioned from Dragon Ball Z to basketball.
And all it took was a JR.
Do you think
analogy?
Do you think this Lakers team is a little too old?
Yeah, I think so. Shit, man. I was watching the Bulls the other day, Lonzo Ball, and I was just thinking, how good would he be on the Lakers right now? How good would Lonzo be instead of Russell Westbrook? Am I wrong?
No.
I would rather have Lonzo than Russell on that team.
I don't trust Russell Westbrook.
Outside of Carmelo, no one else is having a season. Carmelo's having a 6-man season right now.
He's killing.
Every other game, like one game's bad, next game's 26 points. One game's bad, next game's 28 points. I'll take that from a 6-man. That's your job. But what's the rest of the team doing? I don't know. But they wouldn't have had the team they had unless they shipped those young guys out, right? They weren't going to be able to pay them all. They also needed the leverage to get Anthony Davis. They had to get rid of some of the young talent. But
I read that Caruso really wanted to stay, and he wanted, like, he was going to take less money. He was trying to work it out, and they just wouldn't do it.
Why?
I don't know.
I know they have that new rookie. They just replaced him with another white dude, but this one has hair. The guy they replaced him was a sharpshooter. Like, I like the guy they replaced him with. So maybe they thought that was an upgrade. But Caruso, like, when you watch the Bulls, there's a lot of reminders of things that the Lakers parted with.
They like to do that, though.
But it's not just Lonzo. It's like Julius Randle in New York, and who they let go even earlier than the rest of them. Yeah. Also, what's his name in Washington looks pretty good too. Their 6-man last year. What's his name? The guy who
Pope or
Kuzma.
Kuzma
looks pretty good as well. They keep getting rid of the young guys.
Yeah.
For more and I guess you can say it worked out because they did win a championship, right?
Uh-huh.
They did get a championship out of all this. They got a championship out of Anthony Davis. But I feel like they leveraged the possibility of having an established long-running team for just maybe getting 1 or 2 championships. And I don't even think they can get 2. I'm concerned that they can't get the second one. But it's hard to say that because the team can change. It's early in the year. They can develop some chemistry, or they'll probably just move some guys, right? Like, they'll probably just end up with a different supporting cast than what they have now.
Yeah. Which I would gladly take Melo back to Portland.
I think Melo stays, but I think everyone else is pretty much going to be on the block until they get exactly the team that they want.
Yeah.
I heard the comparison on the Ringer one of the Ringer podcasts that it's very similar to that Cavs team that had Dwayne Wade for a little bit and Isaiah Thomas for a little bit, and then by the end of the year they had a completely different team that made a title run. They got rid of all of them. Probably similar. It's just a LeBron James team, but I think where they're going to be. If you're a Lakers fan, if you're Sean and you're worried about the future, I don't think you want it to be a LeBron James team anymore. I think you want it to be an Anthony Davis team, right? Let's build around Anthony Davis. It's hard because he's always hurt, but he's the younger superstar. He's not. You can't keep building a team around a late 30s dude.
LeBron James. Well, question. We'll move on from that. So the Warriors are 11-1. They hold the record for the most wins in a season already, correct?
Yeah, they're not going to top that. I think they'll come back down to earth. They're just real hot right now.
They'll break their own record.
But that game against the Bulls, I was like, man, this is what I want to see. If I had to say what's going to be the most entertaining to me for a 7-game final series, that's what I would want to watch. I'd want to watch
that game, and I wanted to watch it.
Yeah,
Warriors Bulls.
Yeah,
man, and DeRozan looks so freaking good. I thought he was going to be like Spurs DeRozan, and he's not. He is Toronto DeRozan, maybe better. 3 of his last 5 games were like in the upper 30s. Like, he's pushing 40 points. I thought he'd be second fiddle to Lonzo. I thought he'd be like San Antonio DeRozan, who still doesn't shoot threes, but they're making him shoot threes, and he's actually putting some of them down. They're good. They're much, much better than I thought they were going to be. I thought that lineup would be 4th or 5th in the East. I think they can win the East. I don't know if that's bold, but I think they can win the East. I like them more than I like Milwaukee. And I definitely like them more than I like Brooklyn. I do not like Brooklyn at all.
What's
Okay.
What's up with Brooklyn?
James Harden, no Kyrie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Durant might win MVP this year. It's going to be between like Durant and Steph Curry, I think, for MVP, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I hope those two have like a race the whole season. But, you know, Harden's doing the whole playing himself back into shape thing. He thinks that that's a thing every year where him and Luka for the rest of it ever are just going to come in fat week 1 and they're going to play themselves into shape.
It's so funny. I see because I did see a clip from Luka, one of Luka's games. I was like, dude, he's fucking chubby right now. Dude.
And those two in particular. So I don't know if you guys are much familiar with the rule changes in the offseason, but they are very anti-Harden and Luka, their style of game. The way that they draw fake fouls, what was ruining the game, right? Like they're drawing these like 3-point play like fouls.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's playing hard. It's the worst shooting year in who knows how long. It seems like a decade. Percentages are down. 3-point percentages are down. 2-point percentages are down. Scoring is down. And I actually think all of that is good for the game because all these ticky-tack fouls that were inflating the scores are not allowed anymore. And that's why Harden looks so bad. That's why Luka's stats are down across the board as well. They really benefited them. And we're starting to see the guys, I hate to say it, but I think it was also benefiting Damian Lillard. He's not even averaging 20 points a game this season. So I think we're seeing who the real ones are right now. Like, I wish this would have never had to get to this point. I wish the last 10 years would have just been this way because it benefits teams that I like, right? Like most of the teams that I root for they play hard on defense. They're gritty, grindy. You can't win that way anymore. This year, I feel like those gritty, grindy teams have a chance again. Maybe that benefits Milwaukee. Maybe that benefits Chicago. I don't know who it actually benefits, but it's interesting. But I like seeing these like fake superstars because that's what I have always thought James Harden was because he doesn't have a championship. I like seeing these fake superstars come back down to earth a little bit. And also, don't play yourself into shape. It's a fucking long off season. What the hell is up with that?
I just don't get it. Like, why would you just not keep it?
3 weeks before the season starts, you can't just start being less fat. Like, you have to start day 1 of the season. I just don't get
it. It's like it's your livelihood, your career. Like, I don't know. It's something that puts into light like maybe they don't actually care to ever win a championship. Like, does James Harden actually care?
I think it's the opposite for him. I think he's just always thought he's so good that he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think certain people like him and Luka, they just know they'll be fine. By the end of the year, they'll be in shape. Things will be good. But I don't know, man. It's way different than the NFL, right? The NFL players just seem to always be focused on being an NFL player.
Yeah.
Being a professional.
Aaron Rodgers.
Unless you're Aaron Rodgers. Then, but I think he puts the work in.
Yeah.
By the
as
way,
much
speaking of football, this week you and I are playing each other, and I lost to Sean, which is expected. I've lost.
You were projected to destroy me as well. You just had a bad day.
Mahomes sucks, dude. The last 4 weeks, I've gotten 10 points out of him. He sucks.
Yeah, I think I'll drop him right now.
There's nobody else to pick up, but
Carson Wentz. You'd be better off.
I did
Carson
pick
Wentz.
somebody up to just now. Actually, I'm going to give Mahomes one more week.
Mm-hmm.
But if he does not do it, I'm going to start Cam Newton next week.
Ooh. Daddy likey.
I'm going to start Cam Newton in North Carolina next week.
I like Cam Newton back in Carolina.
Me too. That's why I'm going to do it. But he's not starting this week, or else I would have started him.
Yeah.
They haven't ruled it out, but they said that he's most likely not to start this week.
It's Walker. Walker's starting this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude can't complete a pass.
Like,
Cam Newton will end up in by the end of the game.
That's a cute kitty.
I think so too. It is.
You think it's
Zuko?
Okay, so here's a question.
Zuko.
Would you start Carson Wentz against Jacksonville or Mahomes against Vegas?
Carson. I'm starting Carson.
If I had Carson Wentz, I would get him.
Carson Wentz is
This is
hot right now.
This is a different league.
Oh, okay.
Would you
Well, can
trade
I ask
Emmanuel
a question
Sanders?
too?
Duty for Thielen.
Can I ask a question too for another league then, real quick?
Yeah, do it.
Would you go with Kyler Murray, who's questionable, or would you go with Big Ben? I have Ben, and I already have him. I could start him right now.
I do not like. I don't like Ben in fantasy, man. I really don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I like him like.
It's just Kyler Murray's questionable, and that's what my fear is like because I didn't get anything out of him last week.
But how many 15 plus? I'm not even saying 20 because I know he has one 20 plus fantasy game. How many even 15-point fantasy games does Ben have? Like I genuinely don't know. I don't have the app open. A couple, 2 maybe.
I'll look right now. How many fantasy?
He has quite a few weeks where he's got like 10.
Okay, so
fantasy points
in high council, because some leagues
the scoring is different in some leagues, right?
So like week 1, like his highest was against Denver, 18.4, but everything else has been almost under 15.
Yeah, and I have a league where he's gone over 20 once, but I can't play Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, here's the 3. Here's 2 I would take. Jacoby Brissett's on there, but I'm not going to take him. Either Trevor Lawrence or Mike White. I could pick up either one of those right now.
Trevor
Lawrence.
No to all of them. Who do you have on your team? Ben or who?
Ben or Kyler Murray. But
Kyler's a must play if you have him healthy, but if he's not healthy,
it's questionable. And he's game time decision. So like tomorrow morning, if he's playing, I'll start him.
But do you think you'll remember?
That's been the hard part. I have Ben in right now.
Thank you, LeBron's brain. I love his name. He said I was peeking, and I think he was right.
I also think he has a really good question up there.
Yeah, well, I can. Should we start Pickem?
Yeah. Let me ask one more thing. Okay, so.
Okay.
Not the only thing that's peeking right now.
So my penis is peaked. Sorry. So in this league, I'm going to start Wentz over Mahomes, and I'm only doing it because I think the rest of my team's so good, it's not going to really matter. You know what I mean? Because I got Aaron Jones, Harris, Johnson.
Sometimes you don't need your quarterback to win it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You need your quarterback not to lose it for you. And everything else is what's going to separate you from the opponent. Because a lot of the times you and the other team's quarterback wash it out. Unless you have like Ben Roethlisberger who might drop 5 one week and then your quarterback loses it for you. But most like top 10 fantasy quarterbacks are just there to wash each other out. They're like, defenses.
I got a good cushion right now. I started Bateman.
But there's also people like Lamar Jackson when he's like really on that can push 40, and then that's a difference maker.
Speaking of that, I in this weekend my bias Pickem. My bias led me to take the Dolphins over the Ravens, but I didn't do it. I took the Ravens, thinking like, I'll have at least one gimme, and I should have went with my bias that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should have.
So now I've learned until the rest of the season's over, I'm taking who I want to win and who I need to lose.
So if that's the case, if you're going to just take bias picks, I think for Pick'em, there's no need for you to give an analysis because you're not picking based off of who you actually think is going to win. I think you should just tell us like what you find interesting about the game, because we don't need to hear every single week about who you like and who you dislike. That's
fair.
By like 4 weeks in, we're gonna know who you like and who you dislike pretty well at that point. Like we can tell you who you like and who you dislike.
I can give that. I can give what. By the way, I want to point out, boys, that I climbed up to 4th in the ranking after the last couple of weeks. So
you dog, you.
Well, keep living your life. All right. Let's go through these fantasy questions actually before. We should go through these fantasy questions before we get started because there's just two. There's just the Emmanuel Sanders question and the Mitchell question. I said we get them done beforehand.
Yeah, I like
because sometimes they break us away from the pick'em.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Do you want to highlight the top one by LeBron's brain? That name's killing me. If you're in a position where you can give up, I'm assuming the reason you're able to trade a 2-for-1 like this is because one of them isn't starting regularly. Like Judy is like a flyer most weeks for you. So based off of targets alone, I think it's a good trade because I like Thielen. Like as far as dude's getting like 9+ targets a game. And that's what I look at. I don't always necessarily look at how many catches a guy's getting. I look at like what percentage of the overall passes are they getting. And Thielen's getting probably as many as Judy and Emmanuel Sanders combined in this particular situation. So if you only need one guy to start and you're occasionally playing Judy and occasionally not, then go with a guy who's going to start every week for you like Thielen. Because I even think Emmanuel Sanders isn't a weekly play at this point in the season. I think he was the first 4 or 5 weeks, but I don't necessarily play him every week anymore.
Yeah, it's a tough call for Emmanuel. And
then for the Mitchell or Ingram question, Look, listen. The 49ers own the LA Rams, even when they're bad. Because the 49ers are not good most years. They had one good year. Their coach is kind of suspect. I mean, he's got a losing record. But when they play the Rams, they go off. Mitchell is going to go off. This is going to be a big week for him. Ingram, I know Kamara is out, so Ingram is a hot guy right now. But and I had to make a move on him in the league I have Kamara. But say I didn't have Kamara and I didn't need to sub him in, I wouldn't have went out of my way to go get Ingram. He's an old dude.
I kind of just did it to make sure no one else did it.
I make those moves all the time. I go, man, I'm trying to be competitive in this league. I have 3 leagues where I'm either in first place or in second place. Like I'm pushing for the top. So I'll go get a guy just so another dude can't pick him up in those particular leagues.
That's what I did that in like.
I like Mitchell more than Ingram this week and most weeks. But
see, because I have that issue right now. I put in Ingram over Mitchell in a flex.
Yeah, I would actually be interested if we're talking like, I'm assuming Mitchell or Ingram is either a flex 1 or an RB2 spot. Oh yeah, he said RB2 slot. He says it in the Ingram's an interesting flex guy for sure. I think Ingram's an interesting like flex 1 or flex 2, but RB2 I'm going with Mitchell. I think he has a big week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I don't think Ingram's used the same way Kamara is. So you can't just say oh, Kamara's out, Ingram's going to fill in that void because Kamara does so much that Ingram cannot do.
I mean, he's a runner. He can catch.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting that other productivity. Exactly. And I think Mitchell's the bell cow in San Francisco, and I think they have a good week. So.
Okay. So now, would you play James Robinson over Mark Ingram?
No. But that's how I feel about Robinson. There's no analysis there. I just don't like him.
I know, and I don't know why.
If we're talking Carlos Hyde, maybe. If we're talking Carlos Hyde on the exact same team.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, Carlos is the man.
No.
I love Carlos Hyde.
I used to.
Also, very cool name.
Yeah.
Huge fan of the name, Carlos Hyde.
Love the name.
All right. You guys.
I bet he's got a huge donger, too.
I hate when we talk about fantasy, man. It gets me tinkering. I'm tinkering. I shouldn't be tinkering right now.
I'm not touching it anymore. I'm done.
You said it and forget it. Unless you're me, I forgot I actually had Dolphin or Baltimore players, and so Thursday night, that's how I ended up playing 2 freaking tight ends because. And Seki got me 0 points as my flex 1 because I just didn't even bother. I mean, I had stuff going on this week. I was not thinking fantasy to begin with.
Give me this week.
No, I'm still gonna find a way, man. I'm still gonna find a way.
I did that too.
Pat Mahomes. So
who did that?
Pat Mahomes will find a way to help me win. Yes.
But also though,
Oh, you did it to me too, Zach. You had Gesicki on me.
Yeah,
as well.
I know. And that league, I actually am competitive. What am I like? 5-3. I'm doing okay. 5-4.
I'm 6-3.
That's an important matchup because we're like, I don't know.
We're getting close.
Yeah.
I hope
if I win that game, it's huge. But
I
I don't like that team. My two least favorite teams are that team and then our sports program league. That was my fifth team, man. At that point, I was scatting, man. I was a scat man when the picks came for this. I was just shibbity boo bop. Like I was just throwing picks out. I was like, I don't have this guy in any of the other leagues. I'm going to give it a shot. It's like
I did this. I kind of did the same thing.
But if you look at my other leagues, there's so much consistency. I have Jonathan Taylor in every other league. I have like the same guys that I always like, my go-tos in every other league. And then this league, it's like, let's try some new stuff. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And boy, I should have put all my eggs in the same basket because there's like 3 other leagues where I have the potential to win a championship. And I don't even think I can come back in sports program. I don't even think I can come back at this point to make the playoffs. I lost to Mikey Boo. I lost to Mikey Boo, who has the worst team I've ever seen. Yeah. And de facto, that means that I have the worst team that I've ever seen because I didn't even put up 100 against that guy.
Yeah, when I was in Pocatello, I talked to him. I was like, "Are you even trying, man?" It's like,
I play Pittman every week. So if we're talking, you're playing single flex. I think the Colts have really dialed in the passing game. Although the sneaky good Matt Ryan season is crazy. Like Pitts is like probably the only tight end you could flex right now. Because he is I mean Zacchaeus has stolen some market share, I guess, in Atlanta. But why did you put playing it doesn't change? Okay. I like LeBron's brain. He's my new favorite fan.
I'll take a win by that way. That's pretty good. Did either of you guys take the Dolphins?
No one took the Dolphins. Dolphins fans didn't take the Dolphins in this game.
I didn't even bias take them.
I wish you would have, man.
I wish I would have too. I just didn't. Honestly, when I said this, I forgot I was doing the bias thing until after Thursday. I was like, no!
This week, I'm just glad I made a pick on this one because I thought I was going to miss it. I thought I wasn't even going to make the pick. No one would have taken the Dolphins. I mean, 3% I guess did. So all of Florida took Miami.
Yeah. Well, so what about in this one?
Oh, man.
I took the Falcons. I didn't take the Falcons as a bias pick either. I know I'm wearing the hat. I took them because it goes back to what I was just saying. Matt Ryan is on goddamn fire. This is going to end up being the second best season of his entire career.
Okay. You convinced me.
Sneaky good Matt Ryan. So
this was tough pick for me, and I just switched. I switched to the Falcons.
Well, it ruins the. You go ahead, but I was just going to say, like, real quick, that this ruins the hotness of. What I thought was me taking the Falcons.
The reason why I took the Falcons. Okay, so first off, instead of just giving you the bias pick, obviously #never Cowboys, but. I also took the Falcons. What I think will be interesting about the game is the sneaky good Matt Ryan narrative, which is why one of the reasons. So I'm looking forward to this game. Like Matt Ryan, the Falcons just came out, and I took that bias pick last week against the Saints, and baby, actually, I had a few pretty good bias picks last week that turned into fruition.
Yeah, you wished a lot of stuff into reality last week. I feel like you spoke it into reality.
It was a great weekend. I mean, there's a few of them I lost I was kind of sad about, but I was definitely like the Vikings one. I was like, oh man, I was so close on this one, like so close on the Vikings one.
Yeah,
but this one, I have a good feeling about. I have a good feeling I took the right team. Also based on. Just like I think they could be underestimated.
The Cowboys looked really bad last week.
They did not look good.
I watched that game. I was at my dad's, had it on the big screen.
By the way, I
Big
took
65
Denver
inch.
in that game.
Yeah, you did. You did.
That
But Denver is good right now, right?
Well,
they are good defensively in certain areas. That's what's interesting about Denver is that yes, they moved on from Von Miller, but they're still very good at, I don't know. Denver always has their niche on defense, and I think it played really well against the Cowboys. I also just think that the Cowboys, they were not a 6-1 team to me, I guess. Last week going into that game, the Dallas hype should never be real. Like hashtag never Dallas. But also, scary thing about this game is also hashtag never Atlanta. The second you think that they're a team,
right.
the second that you think that they have a chance, they will ruin your dreams. They have only, in the last 3 years, they've only won games where I picked against them. And now I have confidence enough to pick them, which means they're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hard. I don't know. As far as what's interesting in this game, it's the running game of both teams. Like, obviously, it's kind of a committee in Atlanta, but I think the combination of Mike Davis and Cordero Patterson, mostly Cordero Patterson, gets going. But if Zeke gets going, then this game gets interesting. That's the only way this game gets interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I took the Titans at home. I just don't like the Saints. But interesting about the game, I want to see what Adrian Peterson has to offer still.
Yeah.
I'm interested by the whole committee. But for me, what's more interesting in this game is the Titans receiving core.
Yeah.
Does Julio finally get it going this week? Sean, I'm assuming that means no. You froze on us, but you know what? I'm okay with him just freezing. I also took the Titans in this matchup, but it's interesting in like one loss to the Falcons, we're no longer in on the Saints because the Saints were pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My internet is hiccuping, so if I drop out, that's why. But I picked
What were you laughing about though?
Oh,
Julio.
Just the way you said it. Does he get cooking? Or whatever you said. It was fine.
I would like to see him cook. I would like to see Julio get going, especially against the Saints. Listen. The Saints lose this game. Saints lose this game. Falcons beat the Cowboys, which they should not. I think they're an 8.5 underdog on that game, which, if you know me, I'm pretty on brand with the Vegas odds. If Vegas likes a team, I usually pick them.
Yeah.
And I want Falcons. And if the Saints lose this game, which they will, the Titans will get this done. They're just hot right now. Then they're tied. And I like that.
A good team. They're hot right now, and they're actually a legitimate good team.
I did not see this coming.
No, me either.
Yeah.
Vrabel's doing something, man.
Even Tannehill, it's not even like he's a contributor, like a genuinely good contributor. He's the Tannehill we thought he could have been in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I've always felt like Miami gave up on him, right? Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
because he was hurt.
Yeah.
I would take Tannehill over Tua any day of the week, though.
Oh yeah, me too.
Any day of the week for free.
So would they.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, they're reminiscing over their ex, I'm sure, at some point. Actually, I don't think anyone who works for that organization was a part of it.
None of them are there.
Yeah, no one's there. So
yeah, because I don't think Brian Flores got. Well, because they had Adam Gase, right? That was the Adam Gase years in Miami, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I don't think any of the management is still the same either. So I don't think anyone's still there. But what's interesting about the Titans is they're not even like. They're a bottom 3 defense, and they're 7-2. They have the 3rd worst overall defense in the league, and they're still 7-2. They just find ways to win games. I think they're really well managed. I don't want to say coached, because if you're well coached, you don't have a bottom 3 defense, but they're well, Vrabel finds a way to manage games. That's more of like a baseball term. I get it, but he manages games. Like, he finds ways to put them in positions to win.
Yeah. Also, I do have like a bit of a man crush on Vrabel's. Vrabel.
We just need to bring LeBron's brand onto the show. We just need this guy to come on and
I like this guy. Or a girl. It's a guy.
I hope it's a chick. It's just this is they listen to just 3 dudes from Idaho.
So we all took the Titans.
Yes, and isn't this surprising? I think it's surprising that the Titans are the Titans right now.
Yeah, it's a little surprising.
Yeah, I took the Titans.
I think LeBron James needs to also explain to me why the Falcons have a top 10 defense right now, because I didn't see that coming.
Help me with this.
Yeah.
Colts and the Jaguars. The only thing really remarkable about this game is just seeing how Carson Wentz can be.
In fact, a guy, sadly. I like that he's like sad for us that he's not a chick.
That's all right. LeBron's brain. We
We
appreciate
knew.
that.
I think he should change his name to LeBron's Hanging in Brains. But
I
Oh!
am in fact a guy. You
2
know,
points.
you say sadly, but you know, I'm fine with
LeBron's
it.
hanging.
We do not discriminate on the podcast.
Yeah,
All flavors welcome.
yeah.
Okay, so
Jump-
initially
jump.
my bias, I honestly wanted to take the Jaguars in this just because I do like Trevor Lawrence and I do want him to do good. I actually do want him. I want him to live up to the legacy, honestly. Not necessarily with the Jaguars, but I like him.
Do you think people are already worried about that at this point? I don't think so. I think he's
No.
just on.
No,
Um,
and Urban Meyer's not going to be fired this year either. They can get 2 wins and Urban Meyer's not going to be fired in the first year. That's ridiculous.
I mean, now they have a win against the Bills. Maybe they ride that hype train. I don't think it happens this week. I think they come back down to earth real quick.
Oh, I do too. I think they weren't high up on earth either. Let's keep in mind, like they won. What was that? Like 6-3. Like it was something
9-6.
It was
9-6. Like
it was
come
a
on. Like it wasn't even
It was a boring game.
that was
But
a
the
bad Bills game. Is
but-
what that was.
The Bills were putting up points before this game.
Right.
Yeah, and that's
It was just a bad Bills game.
the Bills laid an egg.
They laid an egg.
And I think it's weird. So I saw this thing where it was like one of the grids and it said Super Bowl contenders, playoff, shitty team.
They can run the football though.
But they didn't even have the Bills I think the Bills make it to the Super Bowl still.
Oh, I mean, it's just one game. It's one game.
Exactly.
It's
But
one
it's
game.
like- but you know how people are like they'll turn so fast. They'll turn on
Look,
them.
man, it's weird because like my team's consistently the team that does that, right? Like
Yeah.
there's seasons where the Steelers will sneak out a huge win against the Patriots when they had Tom, you know, but then go lose the next week to the Raiders, who were like winless that season. Like, dude, like who knows? Like the Bills go out, they lay an egg, they'll be fine.
That's when you started using the playing down phrase quite a bit.
Yeah, playing down. Yeah, they just play down. You play down to your. And the Steelers are notorious for doing it. Also, like every game's a trap game. Like it's just funny. Like, well, like Lions feels like a trap game, and it's like, okay, let's get real. Like every game this season is going to be a trap game for the Steelers. But the Colts here, I don't think are going to do the same thing as the Bills. I think the Colts are going to win pretty easily. But what's interesting is just always for me for the Colts is I just want to see how Carson Wentz does.
He looked good last week.
He did look good last week. He looked like season 1 or what was that, season 2?
Yeah,
Carson
second
Wentz
year.
Second year Carson Wentz on the Eagles. He looked like that. He looked good.
I think he's looked good all year.
He hasn't looked horrible.
I'm always high on the Carson Wentz train, more than most, I would say. I like the guy.
He helped win me
do
a
too.
couple fantasy championships.
Is there any week I would pick Jacksonville? No. But I know I was dissing James Robinson earlier. The guy is averaging like 5.5 yards a carry. They just need to run the damn ball consistently.
Yeah.
Like they need to just
He's
stick
questionable,
to
so
stick to the NFL basics.
He's questionable. That's why I'm kind of like, do I want to take the chance? And if he gets fucking hurt right at the start, like,
I think if the Jaguars lose this game, when they lose this game,
Yep. Good catch.
It won't. Yeah, it won't matter for the rest of the year because they'll do good in the draft, and I think what they'll pick up now is they'll start getting some offensive line. They'll start getting some defense again. Like this isn't it for Trevor Lawrence. This isn't it for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not it for Urban Meyer yet. It might be it for Urban Meyer. Might be for Urban Meyer. Maybe. We'll see.
I don't like Trevor Lawrence's face. I hope he isn't.
I don't like his hair. I actually just don't like anyone with hair anymore. But I really don't like his.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty funny.
I should just turn into Kevin from The Office and be the opposite. How do you feel about bald people? I hate them.
I hate them.
I picked the Colts.
Make room, Ashton Kutcher. It's Brian. All right.
I like the reference.
Thank you. All right. So, Colts.
We spent way too long on Colts Jaguars. We got a show to do.
I don't know. LeBron's. He might be the GOAT. Boy, this was tough for me because I hate both of these teams, but I just ultimately I'm not going to go with a division rival, and I already made the mistake with the Ravens. So, but what's remarkable about this team is the Patriots are in contention.
Yeah,
the Bills lost against, the Bills lost their last game. The Patriots have looked good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in on the Mac 10. I am. I'm there. I think he was a great pick, and I think he's perfect for the team. He's a younger Tom Brady, how he plays. Like, he's not super mobile, but he looks good.
Yeah.
I'm also just I'm not going to choose the Browns right now to win this.
I agree.
I'm interested in the Browns, though.
I agree with you, but I'm picking the Browns.
I was talking last week about how important the Browns-Bengals game was. It was. I know I went on the rant last week. I think it was last week where there's always a team that starts 6-3, 5-3. It's usually the Lions, not this year, and then they end up losing 7 straight.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a team that falls apart after a remotely hot start, and I think last week that game between the Browns and the Bengals really sealed in the fact that the Bengals aren't that good to me.
Right.
They did have the win against the Ravens, which does not mean that much to me anymore, especially after the Miami loss. I think Cleveland's legit. I also think the Patriots are legit. I just think because they have a rookie quarterback, they're a little more inconsistent. It's a little more of a coin flip on which Patriots team we're going to see each week. I also don't think that he has an overwhelming amount of weapons, but outside of the Randy Moss years, what Patriots teams did, I guess. I currently have the Patriots, but I am really feeling like this is a Sunday wake-up switch to the Browns game for me.
Could be.
I really feel like I'm going to get that gut feeling, and I'm going to switch to the Browns. But every time I pick against the Patriots, they win.
Bro. I mean, it's in Boston, too,
Every time I pick against the Patriots, so they win. Right. So, that's what scares me.
Yeah. I'm going to go Browns.
Well, that's your squad. I get it. But, I mean, I don't think they do too bad with their backup running back either. No. I mean, the last time Deandre Johnson started, he had himself a day.
Did any of you guys go get him?
I got lucky.
I have him in 2 leagues.
I already had him. And
I already had him, yeah.
I had him, and he's in the same league as I have Nick Chubb.
Guy I worked
I just swapped him out.
I felt like a fantasy guru god this last week at work because this guy I work with talks to me about fantasy, and he's like, man, I don't know who to start because I had Chubb, and I'm like, dude, you get the backup? Go get the backup. And he was available in his league, and he's like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't even think about that. And I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, because they're still gonna, regardless of who they have in there, they're gonna hand off the ball a bunch.
Yeah. I think they have the best run blocking in the NFL. So
exactly, they're not gonna stop. They could put an upturned mop in the game at running back. They're gonna give him the ball at least a little bit.
Yeah. So I have Johnson starting in 4 leagues. I got him in 4 leagues.
Nice,
ready to rock. So.
I don't know how the run defense is, and that's what I probably should have looked up going into this is how good is the Patriots run defense?
Yeah. Good point.
because that's really what this comes down to. I'll tell you real quick.
And I want to see the Patriots against the Panthers again, I guess. Now. That's what I want to see now.
They're exactly middle of the road. So I think the Browns probably have a day. But I'm still going to stick with the Patriots for now. But once again, I might be waking up tomorrow morning and swapping this over.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Bills at the Jets. I think the Bills bounce back. I mean, I want the Bills to win too. I like them also. But what I'm interested to see in this game, though, is just more Mike, more of quarterback Mike. He's starting, I think, right?
Yeah.
He had that huge first game. He had a good second game, actually. He just went out. Like
the first drive.
If he wouldn't have got, he had a really good first drive, and then he got hurt or whatever, lost feeling in his arm or something. Like then when he
hit
came
his
back,
funny bone.
he looked alive again, right at the end. Like
if they rip off 3 straight 400-yard passing games with their backup quarterbacks, I think we realize that something's going on in New York. I think that Buffalo wins this game, though. I don't see them faltering last week. I think we all know that was just an off week for the Bills.
Yeah,
I'm not going with the Jets.
Yeah. And Zach Wilson sucks, right? That's kind of what we've determined.
Someone asked the question about Terry McLaurin and Cordarrelle Patterson. I know we haven't gotten to those games yet, but we should just get this one. Sure. So I like DJ Moore more than I like Terry, and I like Saquon on paper. I like the idea of Saquon more than I like Cordarrelle Patterson, but who's actually playing games right now? So that's kind of a hard trade to make because I don't know if I would want to let Patterson go for Saquon. But I will say Saquon's coming back, and when he was healthy, he looked like a monster. So I'd probably do this trade because I think the upside of DJ Moore over McLaurin is enough to mitigate the risk of taking on Saquon.
To justify it.
Yeah, it would justify it for me. I'm a huge DJ Moore guy.
Here we go.
White for MVP.
Yeah, I think Zach Wilson is hot garbage.
Yeah, well, I think in the NFL now you have more of that ability to move on quicker. Teams are doing it. Ever since they started slotting out how much you can pay a pick based off of their wherever they were drafted, it's made it a lot easier. Back in the day when they used to give these rookie quarterbacks massive contracts, you were locked in. Of course you were locked in. You got locked into people like Sam Bradford,
Jamarcus Russell.
You get locked into those people for at least 3 years.
Sam Bradford, that's a name.
Sam Bradford was the end of that era for me. I think he was the one they said we're gonna make a change here. Yeah, I mean, if you make a bad pick, you make a bad pick. I think they are swallowing their pride. I think they're we're gonna give Wyatt maybe an extra game or two. And see if we have something there. It doesn't seem like they're really rushing the rookie back in
a little bit. They're going to play it out a little bit, I think. See what they have
in this game in particular. Man, I want Detroit to get a win eventually, but I don't want it to be against the Steelers, and I don't think it's going to be against the Steelers. We've seen that Ben can put together, even if they look sloppy at times, he can put together drives.
I still think on the Steelers, I've obviously watched most of the games. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on the toes either. I'm going to say about Ben, I still maintain he's better than Manning in his final year with the Broncos. I still maintain he's better than Manning in his final year with the Broncos.
That's not a hard statement to make.
So that said, if you put the right pieces around him, I mean, the Broncos did it. They did it with defense and a solid offense that got them a Super Bowl win. If you do that with the Steelers, you can do it. I don't know if you do. I do think the Steelers win this game, which, by the way, this puts them at the top of the division again.
Right.
Yep.
This could easily be a trap game, but every game is a trap game at this point for them. I'm taking them to beat the Lions. I'm interested to see what the Lions can do, but I'm also still interested to see what the Steelers can do against a team that's deemed a bad team based on how they've been this year. Like this should be a team to go in and get it. Like the Steelers don't do themselves any favors on talk radio, right? Because they win games that they won that Chicago Bears game, but they had that game won, and the Bears came back and won.
Yeah, they almost gave it away.
Right. And this should be a game that they go out and win. But they'll probably win, but it's going to be close. It's going to be a close game again. I just don't think they're a team that goes out and just steamrolls another team. But it'll be a weird team. If it happens, it'll be a weird team. I haven't looked at the rest of the schedule, but it'll be somebody they shouldn't have done it to, If it happens, it'll be like the Rams or something crazy. Like, why? How did this happen?
Yeah.
Well, they already lost to the Rams.
But
I don't know. I think there's a couple plays that Ben makes that are they sketch me out a little bit. Last week there was a 40-yard pass that should have been a 70-yard touchdown just because he underthrew the ball, things like that. But that being said, he tightened some of that stuff up. Yeah. He probably has had a couple monster games. Last week, the numbers don't really tell the story of how good he looked on some of the drives. It's just he has other drives where you're like, now he doesn't look. This is just the ups and downs of Ben Roethlisberger. But the talent's there on the offense. Right. It's a crazy talented offensive roster, and we know what the defense is. So.
And I actually do like Matt Canada, offensive coordinator. I think he actually is doing a lot with it. I like it.
Yeah, not much needs to be said about this game. It's Detroit. They're going to steal one eventually. I just don't think it's this week.
I picked the Steelers. Oh, I also picked the Bills. I never said that.
By the way, if the Lions lose this game, do we start talking about them not stealing a win?
At some point. That's crazy if they go winless on the first year with 17 games. So they're the first 0-17 team.
Probably the only. They'd probably be the only.
I think it's hard to lose 17 games. Sean, for you in particular, how many more games do you think they win if they don't trade their quarterback to LA? How many do you think Detroit has? At least like 3 wins? Actually, I'll ask that to both of you guys.
If they still had Matt Stafford?
Yeah,
I think they'd have a win by now.
Oh yeah, they would have a win with Matt. At least one.
Like same roster. I get that it's a bad overall team, but yeah, I wonder if this is like the final year of Jared Goff as a
this was not
starting
a fair
quarterback.
Trade for Detroit.
No.
Well, I think it was just time for Bradford to go, Bradford. Oops, Stafford. Now I got Bradford on the brain.
Well, Stafford didn't want to be there.
Do you think Stafford played too long in Detroit?
Bradford, Stafford. Now I'm stuck.
Did Brad Staff play in Detroit for too long?
Brad.
Staff Brad. No, I mean nothing's too long, man.
Did he play too long?
Detroit needed a guy. They needed a guy to be there and be consistent. Like even bad teams deserve to have a guy. Did
he play too long after Megatron retired?
I mean, imagine him in LA the last couple of years. The year they made it to the Super Bowl.
Imagine him in LA when they went to the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They win that game.
Yeah.
They win that game for sure. Even last year, they were probably due for a run last year.
In that Super Bowl game, if they would have had a quarterback who was a good quarterback, they could have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
So you
didn't get anything going.
You took Washington.
Took Washington. I'm just going against the Tampa Bay Patriots here. But I am interested to see what Heineke can do.
Is Fitzmagic back this week or is it going to be next week?
Heineke's back.
It's Heineke.
Okay. But
Heineke's
Fitzmagic is coming back.
This was pure bias, and I thought if I was going to go by bias, I'm definitely going to go by against Tampa Bay, Super Bowl champions. This was an underdog pick for me.
I need Heineke to have himself a day in a loss. I think they lose, but I need him to have himself a day because I'm playing Derek and I'm on my Bengal bye week, so I'm starting Heineke. My first and second option are out at quarterback right now, so I had to I was between Heineke and Roethlisberger, and once again, like I said, like how many days is Roethlisberger is actually projected at about the same as Heineke is, but I don't think he never lives up to any projection. So I'm going to go with Heineke in this matchup, but I'm going with Tampa Bay for the win. I think that this is a let's just get in and get out, move on with our lives type of situation.
I assume you took Tampa Bay, Sean.
I picked Tampa, although I did want to pick Washington because I think Heineke is the truth.
He's not the true.
He's better than King Gino.
Dude, no, he's not. You take that.
The true.
Come on.
Talk bad about King Gino one more time. See what happens. I'll drive up there, tickle you.
You should tickle my-
That said, I do think potentially the Buccaneers could.
You could do whatever you want.
I really do think that.
Yeah.
Like they could just do whatever they want, probably in this game.
They might.
Yeah, fully open, but is what we're about to see.
The Washington Football Club for men were not what we thought they would be this year.
No, I thought their defense was going to carry them, and their defense is pretty dog shit. So,
Yep.
So that's it. I did look up the Lions' schedule, and the rest of their season is tough. Just so you guys know.
Yeah.
no potential trap games you see in there.
I mean, it's Packers, Seahawks, Cardinals, Browns, Broncos, and then they still got Vikings, Bears, maybe the Falcons.
Yeah, we'll probably give them the win. They'll get their win against us.
It could be Pittsburgh though, honestly.
Look, listen, the Cardinals last week proved that they can just win games no matter what situation they're in. I would be more interested in this game if Cam was playing, but it's Cardinals at home. Their play calling is just bazonkers right now. They're winning with backups. They're winning with backup quarterbacks. They're winning with backup running backs. Man, James Conner's had himself a day last week. A day.
That was hard to watch.
Sean, we're losing you. We're losing you a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't
directly
want
connected to my internet's just being bad today.
I want Kyler Murray to start because I have him in a league. And I want him to have a good day. But also there's a part of me that wants him to not play, and I want Colt McCoy to go out there and have another day.
Oh, you know I love me some Colt McCoy.
Which is why I selected the Cardinals.
He's the new Josh McCown, man. You want with the Cardinals?
Josh McCown. Oh my god, he totally is.
Yeah.
I did pick
He
the
is,
Cardinals
man.
to win this.
Also McCown,
Okay.
McCoy.
It's
Yeah.
the mix.
They actually might be the same person. We don't know.
They are not.
No.
Josh McCown is 197 years old.
Yeah, and Colt McCoy has really just like wide set eyes. It's kind of concerning, actually.
By the way,
Hammerhead.
they're both very unattractive men.
What are you talking about?
McCown's
got this like Dolph Lundgren thing going on that is really
He does. He looks like Dolph Lundgren.
it does it for me, man. It does it for
you
me.
like it.
Especially that last year with the Jets where he had the high and tight, like the pompadour almost, and he and Darnold was playing, and he's like
an
on the sideline with his
ugly
high
dude.
blonde hair, and he's just like,
You guys,
dude, I don't know, man.
he's ugly.
You gotta stop this, Sean, because
Okay.
you're talking about Josh McCown on this show, and I don't know if you were quite around as a co-host. You've always been there, but we had an entire love affair with Josh McCown his last season with the Jets.
Okay,
Oh yeah, it was a ride.
Listen
You
to
missed
this.
the Jay Cutler.
You also missed the Jay
You
Cutler
missed the
year.
Jay Cutler love affair we also had.
when he went to go play for.
We went to the Dolphins.
Look, listen. If Jay Cutler was still in the NFL, I would be playing him against Derek this week.
I would not start a quarterback just so he would win, just to let Jay Cutler get one.
Yeah, I would. I actually think I'm gonna. If he's still on waivers, I'm gonna play him at 0 points this week in tribute. But
Okay,
we can move
so
on from this game, though.
I guess here's my problem with my quarterback, or the San Francisco 49ers quarterback is so attractive. I see him all the time, so it's hard to see these other less good-looking men.
I get it, man. He's the Italian Stallions for real. But we don't need to
still
spend
believe-
an entire hour talking about just studs.
I do
Stud
still
muffins.
believe that if Jimmy G and Greg Olson clacked their jaws together, the Earth would actually implode. Like Dragon Ball Z
it's
style.
so true. It's the most true thing.
Yeah, it's that was the. I'm pretty sure you just like we're talking about the plot for the movie, the San Andreas Fault,
Yeah.
the riff.
Yeah, it was this Greg Olson and Jimmy G clacking their
What
jaws
was this
together.
comment? I dropped Robert Woods and picked up Deontay Harris, and would also drop.
I would get Hunter Renfro, baby.
I have Hunter Renfro in this league.
Man,
But then you have DJ Moore and DeAndre Hopkins. Like, damn.
I don't know, man. I do like Hunter Renfro. Like, I think the rest of the year is all Hunter Renfro, baby. But
Yeah. I have him in some leagues.
but I mean, if you got DJ Moore on your bench, what are you doing? You gotta play the guy.
Shoot a wolf as it
Yeah.
runs away from her up a hill. Like a coward, she's shooting him in the back.
I love it.
Um,
After John Marston. He's my baby boy.
Trying to save John Marsden.
But on this game, listen. Look.
Did we all take the Cardinals?
Yeah. And I'm assuming we all took the Chargers, but listen. They're gonna have a hard time stopping this Minnesota offense.
Yeah.
yeah.
I really believe that, even at home.
I changed my opinion on the Vikings after they did almost win that game. I still wish they
Yeah.
would have, but
Do you think it's a shootout?
I think this is
No.
30 plus from both teams. Obviously, you define an NFL shootout a little different than a college shootout, but I think for me, 30 plus from both teams is a shootout in the NFL, and I think we're in line to get that. I don't know what the over under is in this game, and now I'm kind of curious.
I took the Chargers in this just because I like Herbert, obviously.
Oh man.
So the over under is 54. So they are maybe not thinking, obviously, and not thinking both teams do that. But this is a game you are taking the over, and I think that the Chargers win it by a field goal at home. Remember when the Chargers lost every game by a field goal at home? This is just a different team.
Yep.
Potential Super Bowl team.
Yeah. I don't think they're there yet. I think they got anointed too soon. It would be awesome if it was the Battle of LA finally, but I think one of the two LA teams is just a year or two out.
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't think it's the Rams.
I took the Eagles on the road because I want Jalen Hurts to actually have a good game, but I do think that the Broncos will probably win this game.
Speaking of the Eagles, I watched Invincible on Thursday.
Great movie.
Never seen it.
It's good.
Surprise.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's on
Spoiler
Disney Plus,
alert.
bro.
That
You got your
couldn't
Disney Plus again, dude. Just pull it up, man.
it's a good movie.
I'm not gonna watch it, but I'm just not gonna watch it.
It is a good movie, though.
I'm also not gonna watch this game. This is like
Yeah,
number one game of the week. I don't give a shit about.
yeah.
I guess there hasn't been a toilet bowl game.
There's no this week was very hard to pick a toilet bowl. I know I always got one every week.
No.
Honestly, all the games that we're gonna review next, man.
Next week has some toilet bowls.
Actually, if there was a game that I really don't care about this week, it's actually the real battle of New York, Buffalo, and the Jets. I don't care about that game at all. But
Yeah.
as far as like,
I would
Like-
even be willing to say Tampa Bay and Washington. Actually, I don't really care about that game that much.
But as a traditional dumpster bowl, like all the teams, these are all kind of clear cut on who you think should win. So there's no real.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
I would
There's
say
no two shit teams up against each other this week.
if you looked at like lowest win total between two teams, I think the toilet bowl would be the Colts Jaguars.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I actually find that game intriguing.
Same.
So this game.
This one I don't. Yeah, I don't care.
This game, like I said, I think the Denver Bronco defense is sneaky good. I think they've gotten really healthy on offense now. They found a way to consistently move the ball. They're not going to blow you away. They're not going to like run up the score by any means, but I think they do enough on offense to win games. The Eagles can surprise you. Obviously, they've done it for 3 games, although one was against the Falcons, so it doesn't really count as a win. I don't know. I'm not picking. The Eagles are one of the teams that I might not pick again the rest of the season. I just really don't believe that they're a quality team.
And Sean?
Yeah, I just think the Broncos get it done.
Yeah, and a couple weeks ago, I ruled out the Broncos. I thought they were officially, when they hit 4-4, I thought they were officially, or 3-4, I thought they were officially a bad team. But then the last couple weeks, they proved me wrong. So,
Packers and Seahawks. This is still Jordan Love, or is Rodgers back?
Rodgers should be back.
Will probably
That's
be
my
back.
thought. Even with Jordan Love, though, I'm taking them over the Seahawks.
Wilson,
Just never
Russell
Seahawks.
is back.
It is Russell back. Russell will be cooking in Green Bay this week.
But mine's
Would
a
you
biased
start-
pick, and I
would
hate
you
both
start-
these teams, but I hate
Would-
the Seahawks more.
Would you start Russell or Wentz?
Russell.
I'd go with Russell over Wentz.
I just was kind of waiting until last minute to make sure he does play.
I would start Russell just because I feel like there's going to be some garbage time potential in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, listen. The Wentz matchup, they're playing the Jags. They're just going to be Jonathan Taylor, aka Jonathan Taylor Thomas. It's just going to be JTT.
That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared that it's going to be kind of like last week where they got up with the run and then Wentz had some touchdowns, but it wasn't what it would have been.
I think Pittman's gonna score a time or two in that game. So I think you might get some juice from Wentz, but I would say you're gonna get more juice from Russell. And I took the Packers because I think they run this game up.
And I picked up Russell off the waiver because someone dropped him.
Good pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about Pittman, man. He's going to score a couple times. And then Wentz might also throw a couple Jacksonville Jaguar picks, but
Yeah. Fair.
Okay, well now that LeBron's brain has honed, I don't know what to do. I'll worry about it tomorrow.
so here's what I like to do. I like to make the switch and then see how I feel about it. I make the switch, and if your gut just instantly goes, that was fucking stupid. I'm a dumb.
Is the
Move
Green
back.
Bay's defense that good though, you know?
I think the entire team is sound.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a team that, in my opinion, should have won the NFC Championship last year and ultimately won the Super Bowl. I think they were the best team last season. I still don't trust that Buccaneers game, but
Ooh, you know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
This guy I'm playing has DK in, so I'm going to play Russell. That's what I'll do.
that way when he eats, you eat. Yes,
Yep.
genius.
Yep.
Fair. Go
Take
with
that, Doug, you stupid fuck. Anyway, I picked Packers.
This was tough for me because this honestly might be the total bull for me. Truthfully, I don't care about the Chiefs anymore, and man, I just don't know about the I don't get the Raiders. I just don't know. I think this is gonna be the one where I'm gonna choose mid show though. Like I'm gonna choose the Raiders because I want Derek Carr to have more success.
I'm taking the Raiders because I think they're the better team. Kansas City's found a way to scrape and by for 5 wins, but every single week I think this is going to be the week where they get back on the rails, and they don't get back on the rails.
Yeah. Fucking Doug, dude. I agree. I picked the Raiders.
Okay.
If this was last year, I picked Kansas City.
If this is any other season, I take Kansas City.
Yeah.
If this is any other season in the last 40 years,
Yeah.
I probably
Yeah.
take Kansas City.
But I'm not. I'm picking.
Taking Raiders. This was tough just because because one of my baby boys is a Niners fan.
Mhm.
So this was tough because I want to support my friend, but also I want to see I chose the Rams to be the Super Bowl pick for the NFC, so I want to be right on it, and this should be a game they can win, and they got to come back now. You know, they got to come back from a loss.
Ooh, that's a good question there, Ben.
Ooh, Ben, I like that.
I'm going Rams on the road.
I'm going Rams on the road, but like I said earlier in the show, McVay hasn't had any success against San Francisco.
No.
San Francisco in the last, since McVay got there, has just owned their little butt-butts. Maybe that changes. I think it's a good game. I think this is a back-and-forth game.
This could be.
I think San Francisco is better than a 3-5 team for sure. Yeah, exactly. This could be the best game of the weekend. I think LA just keeps finding a way to get it done. I think they're just going to suit up Odell Beckham right off the bat. So I'm interested.
That would be the thing I'm interested in this game is Beckham. Also, just Stafford always just interested to see how.
Yeah, and I'm a little biased because I have Henderson, so like I'm biased towards I need LA to have a big day. So Aaron Jones for Diggs or Chase, I would take either of them for Aaron Jones right now. I think Green Bay has like fully transitioned to a two-headed monster running back, so you just don't always know what you're going to get. You have two good running backs already. Once I get to a point where the two guys I like the most have both had their buys, I am totally down to kick a guy off.
Yes, LeBron's.
That's a stacked running back crew though. That's like good for you also.
Yeah, or Ben, you can just keep your squad and just like stroke it to that every single weekend. Listen. I don't know what gets you off. I don't know what you're into, but for me, that's three good running backs seals the deal. It's auto complete, baby.
I have some running back crews that I edge every Sunday morning.
That's good.
But I never complete it. I
do have a squadron where Saquon is my fourth best running back because I have Jonathan Taylor and Kamara on that team. But I don't know. I get it. If you need a wide receiver, I would take Diggs or Chase. I love Chase this year, and it's hard not to love Diggs every year.
Okay.
LeBron likes that there's a Falcons and Braves fan from Idaho. Also, LeBron's we don't have anything here, so I'm a Steelers fan also in Idaho. Sean's a Niners fan also in Idaho. There's nothing. Seahawks are his closest team, and we all hate them. Seahawks.
Oh. I'd go with Chase, man. I'd go with Chase.
Over Diggs?
I think so.
Man, I want Diggs.
I would take either of them.
I just think Chase is the Bengals guy.
Yeah, it's been proven even when they take away So one thing the Jets exploited in that matchup, though, when they beat them, is that the best case scenario for beating the Bengals is just completely try to take away the deep ball. That's what they did. Obviously, that led to Boyd having a day underneath, but and it was copied by the Browns for sure. But at least it seemed like the Bengals adapted and found ways to get Chase the ball other ways. So like they started getting some intermediate and short passing to him. So he's going to eat no matter what. Yeah. Diggs makes no sense to me either, especially after the last couple seasons where it was just like he was an automatic guy.
I just think with the Bills, they got Josh Allen will either run and then
but I think he's right. It's not like they've changed up anything from last year. We're just not getting these big explosive plays.
Yeah.
Where with Chase, like until maybe like the last 2 weeks, we've seen it every single week this season. So yeah.
Chase has kind of been my money ball.
I think LeBron's brain has talked me into being Chase over Diggs the rest of the way.
Pretty good. And Sean, who did you take in this game?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the 49ers. I had the Rams picked, but this happens to me every week. We'll get to this and I'll switch. But I think the Rams win.
Okay. And that was the Monday game. I don't think this is going to be a very high scoring game, to be honest, but
we'll see. Yeah.
I'm going to go with 39.
Okay, so I'll go with 40. What are you thinking?
You guys think it's a low scoring game?
I don't think it's very.
I put like 47.
I'm going to go 50.
Ooh.
No.
I mean, the over-under is 49, so I'm playing the over. Although, when do you see a football score that ends at exactly a combined 50? I don't know. I'm just playing that because it's higher than you two. And ultimately, the how many points scored never really comes into a factor in the pick'em. So
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter what you put in there. But that's it. That's
it.
it.
I'm gonna go low scoring.
And I'm going high.
I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm excited for football.
Special shout out to the Lapwai High School football team. They're in the semifinals. They're down very far south right now, southern Idaho.
Are they playing right now? Or is the game
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock
Okay.
today. If they win this game, they go to state. I think they'll win. I actually do think they will win the game.
1 o'clock
they're a
today,
good,
so
solid
it is.
team.
It is starting right now. Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I think they'll win. They're fast, mobile. The team they're playing, they're all big, but they're slower. And the team they're playing had the opportunity to go to a turf, but then they saw the speed of our guys, and they decided to play on a field instead. So.
Oh, that's
Because
kind of
they
bullshit,
didn't
huh?
Yeah, but I don't think it'll matter.
They don't want any of that heat.
If you were scared of the turf, you're still going to be scared of the other thing.
Hey man, I watched the Wildcats play one of their games,
Yeah.
and
It's a good team, man.
It was hot.
So last week when we did the show, they had beat Prairie, who they lost to in Prairie. They had lost to them the game before, by about the same amount they won this time. So this team they're playing today is not as good as Prairie, so they could very well win this game. We'll see.
And
Anyway,
then that
go
means
that way. Either way, go Wildcats.
that means they won basketball last year,
Oh man,
and if
what
they
a
win
what a
football,
crazy season.
and that's
At
that's
this
awesome.
point, I think what's cool is they're just playing with this. They're playing with this mentality of like they've gotten this far. They only won 2 football games last year.
So yeah, it's a big deal.
So they're playing with this huge like, hey, whatever happens this year is like, basketball's right around the season, like right around the corner. So
Love
which
it.
is where they excel. So, but everyone have a
Awesome.
great weekend.
Yeah, enjoy whatever you get into. Tonight I'll be watching. Well, I got a couple things on the docket. There's a ESPN Plus UFC card. Let's go Max Holloway. That's crazy lineup. The rest of the cards, whatever. But the last couple matchups have me intrigued. And then Full Gear is also tonight, which I will also be watching. Listen, guys, listen. I'm staying in. I got my baby boys. We got the Ducks playing.
Are they on right now?
No, that game's in the evening. I should have just went to the game. I was debating it. Like 2 seasons ago, obviously, I went and watched the game in Autzen. WSU always plays them close. I know Oregon's ranked 3, but Brown is inconsistent at best at the quarterback position, which means like he can go out there and have a 100-yard passing game, and WSU could be in it. So I'm interested in that. And obviously, again, watch my baby boy Max get right back on that title track.
So tonight for Full Gear, what was it? Kenny Omega and Hangman Page.
You know they're putting it on Hangman right now. They're putting it on Hangman.
Brian Danielson and Miro. That's actually, I've always wanted to see Daniel Bryan and Rusev. So actually, I like this.
Yeah, and obviously, he wasn't even supposed to be in that tournament. It's the title eliminator tournament. And then the guy who was in it got hurt, so they switched him out in that Orange Cassidy matchup just because clearly it was planned for Orange Cassidy to lose. So Miro took that spot. It's obviously set up for DB to take it, and then we're going to get ourselves. I take back what I said. They're not putting it on Hangman. It's obvious after that draw.
It's going to be
between
Hangman. It's going to be
Daniel Bryan and after that draw, you have to do it again.
By the way, this is a great card. You got. I love that. I think Jurassic Express is going to lose against the Super Click, but I still want to see it.
I think they win.
Darby Allin and MJF. I think MJF's going to win that.
Oh yeah.
And then also the Inner Circle stuff. We finally get to see that Inner Circle and American Top Team. I'm actually genuinely excited about that.
Did you see that? What's his name? The coach is in it.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
And yeah, he put so if you watched on Wednesday, listen. If you're not a wrestling guy, you can shut the shit off now because I'm about to go. I'm about to pop right now. I'm about to pop. But he put Jericho in Jericho's move, right?
Right.
And then he grabs the mic and he goes, and by the way, it's called a Boston Crab. And that shit killed me. That dude on the mic is crazy.
He is hilarious.
We're talking about
LeBron Braves, listen. Two of the guys on this show are what the people call marks, and one of them is a smart mark, and the other one's me. Because I'm all in, baby.
I'm all in.
One of them's a smart mark, and the other one's me, and then we have Sean.
I still mark out. I'm still marking out. Oh, we got Punk, and what's his name? Eddie Kingston. Punk's not going to lose to Eddie Kingston. It's not going to be his first loss.
Did you see he was in the top 10 for Wrestler of the Year this year? Kingston. Kingston.
Eddie Kingston is.
He's the I'm pretty sure he's like there was only like 2 AEW guys who made the list.
Wow.
Anyway, Sean, what were you going to say? Sean was about to say something.
I don't
Probably.
just really care about wrestling.
Yeah. Listen. Someone decided to sneak in an Aaron Jones question. No, he's not. I don't know if you were watching the whole show, but can you highlight that bottom question, Derek?
Yeah.
We're still here. We don't have to talk wrestling the whole time. If someone wants to talk about Max Holloway winning tonight in the UFC match, though, holla at me. But Aaron Jones, top 10 running back. No, I think it's a two-headed monster there now. I thought we were going to actually see it last year, and that wasn't the case. But I don't think so. I don't know. I think Aaron Jones is going to have a couple of weeks where you think he is still that guy. Yeah. And I'm not saying he's lost anything. I just think that the way that their offense is set up now is just more to kind of rotate. But
week one, you will not see another week one Aaron Jones. You won't see 4 touchdowns.
What I'm saying is there could be situations where you play him.
Later, LeBrons.
LeBron brains.
See LeBron's
new favorite fan. I hope he's watching the Ducks game. There's really nothing else to watch if you're talking about college football. The rest is trash.
But everybody else have a great weekend.
Yeah. Go Warriors. Go Wildcats. Nailed it.
Away.
I traded Justin Jefferson and Chris Carson for Deontay and James Robinson. I don't like it. Let's end the show with I don't like that.
Okay, bye.